Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hannah. I'm a flight attendant for a major US airline, and today we are starting a 3-day trip. It is 5:10 a.m. and it is time to head to the airport, so let's get it going. You guys, I did not time my drive right, but there's a bus coming right now, so I might be okay because I have 10 minutes till sign in. That's including the 5-minute grace period. I signed in with 3 minutes left in my grace period, so no worries. We did not get a late sign in for this trip, thank goodness, because I would have been penalized this time since I already got my freebie for the year a couple weeks before. But leg one, day one, was the quickest leg that we worked the entire trip. It was up to Philly. I was position 1, so I was working in first class, which this was the easiest service I had to do for the whole trip because the rest of my legs had meal services. But had my little breakfast on that flight, and then once we got to Philly, we went all the way across the country to LA. This was the longest flight we worked for the entire trip, and it was a full meal and dessert service for me, so I will show you guys what that looks like. So I like to put my nuts and bread in one oven and my meals in another, but sometimes you can't do that, so I wasn't able to do that for this one, so I had to go ahead and cook some of my meals and then put the nuts in when it was time for them to go in so they wouldn't get burned. But we start off with hot towels, which these towels are usually like so hot, will like burn your hand because it's just the hot water that we use from the plane. So I try to like cool them off a little bit before I give them to passengers so they don't burn their hands. But after I do that, I go ahead and make all the drinks because when I have nuts, I can only do 2 drinks at a time, so it just kind of lets things roll on a little bit better. Then I go through and unwrap all the trays from the little plastic wrap that they're in. I go through and pick up nuts, get refills of drinks, and then I start going through with meals. These were 2 meals that were pre-ordered, but our actual options were the penne pasta, or we had a chicken with a mojo sauce. I don't know, it's like some kind of Cuban sauce. But after that, you go through with dessert. We usually have an option of a warm cake or ice cream sundaes, which I didn't get. Then I finally got to eat after about 2.5 hours of doing service. We just got to the hotel. It is 2:20 local time, which means it is 5:20 my time. I'm feeling okay, even though today was a 10-hour duty day. If things go according to plan, then it really isn't that bad of a day. It definitely did not feel like 10 hours, so that's a good sign because I didn't get a whole ton of sleep last night. I got like maybe 5.5 hours, so I figured I would have been a little bit more tired, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. So a friend of mine that I met in college lives here now, and I think he said he was gonna get off work around 3:30, so I think we're gonna hang out. Not quite sure yet what the plan is. We kind of talked about maybe getting food and drinks. We also talked about just hanging out at the pool at my hotel, but I think parking here is kind of high, so I'll have to go down and ask if they validate parking, because sometimes they will do that for crew members, which is really cool. So I'll see if they do that, because if that's the case, then that would be a little bit easier to decide on that. And if they don't, then it would be another easy way to decide on doing that. But it is so nice outside, so hopefully wherever we go is outside, which I might mention that to him, like, let's just do something outside. Maybe we can go to like a beach or something. But let me change clothes. Since I have about an hour to kill, I am going to go ahead and do my devotions for the day, because otherwise I probably won't do them, because I'll probably hang out with him up until it's time for me to get in the bed. We have an early sign in tomorrow. Our van's at 4:40, so I'll be getting up at 3:40. So gonna be an early night tonight. So if I don't get those devotions done now, then I won't get them done. So gonna try to get all that in, change my clothes, and then hopefully I'll be meeting up with him here shortly. We ended up going to Santa Monica and started out at Big Dean's, which is right behind the Santa Monica Pier, and it's supposedly the oldest bar in LA. It's very like beachy surfer vibe, super chill, so it was a fun place to start. But then we went and walked along the pier, rode the Ferris wheel to see the views, which the sunset was happening over the water, and it was so beautiful, so gorgeous. But then we saw a bunch of people playing this hanging game, so my friend was like, I think I can do that, which Once you get to 45 seconds, you get a prize, and then it's a minute 15, you get a bigger prize, and then a minute and a half, which he was 1 second away from a medium prize, but we got our little small pink Nemo. How cool is it that I get paid to go see my friends on layovers? Like, we love that about this job. But that is all for day 1. I will see you guys tomorrow for day number 2. Good morning. It is almost 4:30. Our van is at 4:40, so I'm about to go catch that. We have another 2-leg day today, but not nearly as long as yesterday. And our second leg is a deadhead, so we aren't actually working the flight. So if you guys forget what a deadhead means, it is when we are flying as passengers, but still listed as working crew, even though we aren't working the flight. So it's really just a way for them to get you from one place to another. So in our case, they're trying to get us to San Antonio so that we can work a flight from San Antonio in the morning, since San Antonio is not a base. So hopefully that makes sense. But let's go catch the van and get day 2 started. As the position one of your responsibilities is making sure that catering is correct, because yes, sometimes it can be wrong. So you want to double check that you have the right number of trays, and you also want to double check that the meals they gave you are the right amount and that it's the right meals, because sometimes you can have some crazy stuff going on in your ovens and your carts. So you always just want to double check, because the sooner you can get that stuff figured out, the better chance you have of getting it corrected. Sometimes it works out, other times it doesn't. That's just the name of the game. But breakfast service is basically the same as lunch, except for there are no nuts. So you go out with hot towels first and then pick those up, go through with drinks. Since I don't have nuts, I can do 1 row at a time, so I don't pre-make all the drinks, I just do it 1 row at a time. Then you go out and serve the meals. A lot of times you have leftover meals, so I nibbled on some of our omelet and had my coffee. Then it was time to catch our deadhead to San Antonio. Had a little aisle seat on this deadhead and watched some TV on the short ride. We just got to the hotel. It is 2:40 p.m. You guys already know that I'm about to go get my guacamole that I love here. So I'm gonna change clothes and meet up with a crew member, and we're gonna go walk over there and get that on the river walk. And my eyes are already starting to turn like that pink color. When you start to get tired, you know how your eyes get red? Mine are already like a little pink. So that's a good sign I do not need to be out late tonight. So wanted to go ahead and get this over with, so then come back to the room and chill and hopefully be in the bed super early tonight. We only have 1 more leg, guys. So let's change clothes, go out, get our guac, and then come back so we can get some decent rest tonight. I put some food in the Hot Logic before I went out to get my guac, because that was all I was going to get. I wasn't planning on getting food at the restaurant, but it's tableside and they add orange to it, and I think that's what sets it apart. I think that's what I love about it so much, because most guacamole like doesn't have orange in it, but it's so good. Look how beautiful, right on the river walk. We love it. But came back to the room. I finished the episode of Veronica Mars that I wasn't able to finish on the deadhead over, and then I did my devotions for the day, went ahead and ate my little dinner that I'd put in the Hot Logic, started another episode of Veronica Mars. I'm really getting through that show. Love it. Closed the blinds, made the room dark, finished my little episode, and called it a night. Good morning. It is day 3, go home day. So this morning I was looking at one of our apps that we can use to track like what's going on at the base. And today they are red flagging every single trip that comes open, and they've been doing that the past couple of days. So there must be some storm or something that is causing irregular operations somewhere in the country, because usually when they red flag, that means they're short-staffed because they've had to use everybody to go cover at other places. So I've been looking at turns for today because I might pick up and do a double up, because red flag means that you get paid time and a half. They're trying to encourage people who are off to pick up on their days off, or to, in my case, double up, to try to avoid cancellations and crazy delays. So we're gonna be looking at that and seeing what comes open, because too, since I would be doubling up, my like legalities would be a little bit different than if I was just home on my own time. So we'll see if I decide to pick up. I usually don't. But if a good trip, like an easy little turn pops up that would work with my like time-wise for me, then I might do it. So we'll see. But it is 4:32. Our van is at 4:40. So let's go downstairs, catch the van, get this one leg started, and then we'll see what we decide as far as the rest of our day. We were on a 737 for day 3, which the 737 galley is so different from the 321, so it usually takes me like a good 20 minutes to get used to it after I've been on the 321 for days at a time. But same old, looked at all my meals, made sure everything was good. One of my crew members brought us some Mexican sweetbread from a bakery she knew about in San Antonio, so shout out to her. It was delicious, and I'd never had that before, so it was fun to try. But made our way back to Charlotte. We ended up leaving 6 minutes early and got in 15 minutes early, so we love that on go home day. For breakfast, I had some hard-boiled eggs that I've been bringing, which is super easy. And also the other day I showed you guys how crazy security was, but this is what it normally looks like, so that was just a weird day. So I did not pick up. The only trips that I would have been probably eligible to work were 2-day trips, and I didn't want to do that. So I was only going to pick up a turn, and there just weren't any that got back at a decent time or that I would have been legal for. So yeah, also the more I thought about it, I was like, do I really want to subject myself to that chaos? And no, I didn't want to do that. So yeah, we are done. We're going to enjoy the rest of our day. And my next trip that I was supposed to work actually dropped. So I am going to be off for 6 days. So I don't know, I may pick up later, like a couple days from now, if there's some good stuff coming open. Maybe if like a Europe trip opens that I want to do, maybe I'll try that. We'll see. But yeah, we're just gonna enjoy the rest of our day and just be glad that our trip did not get affected by all the craziness that's going on. Like, I don't want to jinx anything, but I've been really lucky this summer. So far, all my trips have gone like nearly perfect. I think my last trip, we had a little bit of a delay on one of our flights, but like nothing that's crazy. So that is wild, but I'm gonna take it and I'm going to enjoy that my trips have been going smoothly. So we love that. But yeah, let's head home and relax. I'll go work out later. I think I'm gonna meet up with some friends and go to our little minor league baseball team game that we have in Greenville and hang out tonight. So yeah, let's head home and do that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. As always, any questions, comments, whatever, you can put them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.